We are here today with Jake Austin, senior captain of the track team. He's competing the 10K tomorrow night. Is that right?
Yep.
Yep. And he'll be leaving today. And before he goes, he just want to ask a couple of quick questions before he heads off. So, Jake, it's your senior year. Before this race, tell us the thoughts about your season thus far.
I've been happy with this season. I think that if you're looking at the whole year, I think that indoor and cross country went pretty much exactly the way I wanted it to. Each year you obviously you want to improve, you want to see the team improve, and I think that coming in, we weren't completely sure how things were going to go. We had a pretty young team, we had a lot of freshmen coming in compared to usual, and I think that having considered all that, I think that we did very well. Considering that, I think that we have something now that we can definitely build on in the future. And this season, this outdoor season, is no different. We've had, multiple just commendable efforts from certain individuals on our team. Zach Fleming, Lanny Buck, etc. And I guess where I'm personally concerned, like I said, I'm just happy with the improvement, the fact to just be here competing in general. And yeah, I mean that pretty much sums it up. Just improvement's always what you want, and that was achieved on several levels. So can't complain.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. You can even see in the field events and the track events that the program is moving forward, which is always what you'd rather be moving forward than staying neutral.
Yeah.
And there was a fear, obviously, earlier in the year that maybe we'd be there, but right now, obviously, things are coming together. So how about you? This is your last race coming up.
Mm-hmm.
10K. It's kind of your bread and butter event. That's what you've been pretty much predominantly known for since you've been here. But it's your last go around as a KU athlete, obviously. So what's your mindset heading into it? Like giving.
Well, it's funny you say that. The whole the bread and butter thing with the 10K. 2 years ago, I didn't even know if I wanted to do the 10K. I was approached about possibly doing it at Coastal Carolina. My sophomore year with a former teammate of mine, and it seemed like such a intimidating feat to go out and try to do that. And ever since then, it's like you fast forward to now, it's like it's become such a, like you said, it's sort of like the focus point of what I do. It's like my main event. That's what I have been working towards this whole year. And to end my career with Kutztown at least on a track doing that event at a track within the PSAC that is actually kind of fairly close to where I live. I'm kind of familiar with the surrounding areas of Shippensburg. It's kind of cool. It's almost like everything kind of came full circle because in addition to that, we began the year at Shippensburg in cross country, just right next to the track for a cross country race. So to go back tomorrow and finish the year out with a 10K, it's cool. It's that whole full circle mentality, and that's just kind of the way I'm looking at it. Hopefully we'll come full circle. Hopefully the race goes well. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that this was a little higher than the standard race. I mean, obviously there's some sentimental value behind it, but hopefully, we'll go into it, and as soon as that gun goes off, it's just like any other race. Go out, get focused on it, take it lap by lap, and hopefully we walk out of there with something that I can be happy about.
Awesome, man. I know it's like a cliche thing to say and stuff like that. And it's easy to say, "Oh, I never saw myself here." But in all honesty, when you first came to this program, did you see yourself here?
At this particular spot?
Yeah, maybe not on the couch, but in general, did you see yourself as this PSAC qualifier, senior captain, nominee for scholar athlete?
I will be completely honest. No, I did not see myself. Maybe even slightly scratching the surface of any of those things. Actually, I came out of high school, with someone that I don't want to say I had a chip on my shoulder, but I definitely had room to improve. I was sort of a two-penny athlete. I wasn't really. My PRs weren't really anything special, but they weren't terrible either, I guess you could say. And just getting to come here to begin with, getting that email back from Coach Hoffman saying and seeing my name on the roster when they first sent the rosters out was such a sort of victory in itself. The fact that I was able to make it on. Now, my first year here, I didn't know how far I was going to go. I didn't know if I was going to make it the whole 4 years or not. I didn't know if I would be good enough to stay because obviously, we've had some, and we still are having some very, very talented athletes coming through here, contemporaries of mine even in my class. And to still be here and to have, like you said, those things that you had mentioned, it's more of a blessing and it's more of just a dream come true, even if you want to put it, in its broad sense that I could ever have imagined. I mean, it's something that I can't really put into words right now and completely do it justice. It's just to have been here these 4 years and to have competed alone and to have met the people that I've met and to have developed these bonds and all that, and just carve my niche in this program. Say that I will forever be a part of this program's history. It might not be a huge one, but it's definitely not a small one either. That's just spectacular, and that's something that it's changed my life.
Yeah, definitely, man. All right, let's make this a little bit fun. How about a couple of rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Just quick, brief answers. Favorite venue that you've raced at since you've been in Kutztown?
Favorite venue, is that track or cross country or?
Either or.
Okay, well I guess we'll divide it up. For cross country, I've always loved Paul Short.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Short, this year it was a little hot. We had a little bit of an exceptional day this year at Paul Short, but Paul Short, and we also went to that same course, Lehigh, for a 6K earlier in the year until my senior year. There was just something about that course. I loved the area of it. I loved the fact that not so much that it wasn't pancake flat. It had a couple rolling hills.
Yeah.
There was just something about that course. There was something about the energy of that day that would just translate to how I would run. It would, even if I was feeling crappy before the race because of heat, because of rain, because we had it all there.
Yeah.
It would always just, you would just go out and you would run with like this electricity in your body because of how many people are there. It's such a huge meet, on so many levels. There's the high school meets later in the day. And that's a meet that, I'll never forget running it because I never ran it in high school. So,
Yeah.
To run it there, my freshman year, that first time was just incredible.
Oh, definitely.
And where track's concerned, I always have been, indoor and outdoor, I've been a huge, huge fan of Bucknell.
Bucknell University.
Bucknell University's tracks, both of them, are beautiful, beautiful facilities. The indoor facility is just incredible. It's so spectator friendly when you see so many indoor tracks that aren't. The surface is great. The competition is always great out there. And that goes for the outdoor meet too. Every single year we've gone there for that outdoor meet. We just had it here a couple weeks ago. The competition's just always been great. I love the area around there, Lewisburg. Not much to say. It's just a great. They just really know how to run meets out there.
All right, how about this? Favorite run in Kutztown?
Favorite run in Kutztown? Well, it's a run that sort of no longer exists, but well, I guess actually there are two, counting that one. The one that I was just talking about that doesn't really exist anymore. We have a run that we used to call a mud loop, that would go out here towards going towards like where you get where you eventually go out to like where the Kutztown Crumbsville exits at, and you get onto a trail and it's an out and back run. And we would call it mud loop because there would always be these mud puddles and we'd have to sort of like pick it. It must be sort of like a pick your own adventure. Going down there, you have to pick left or right, middle, left, right, whatever. And it was always fun because we'd go out there and there would always just sort of be like this kind of like new energy when we go out there. Like, oh, we're doing mud loop, like let's do it. And they destroyed the bridge out there and we've still found ways to run it since then. But it's something that we ran it and no one can take that from us at this point.
Exactly.
And I've always also been a fan of the run that we call Covered. Well, we call it Covered for short, Covered Mountain, Covered Bridge. It has a couple variations of the title. And, there's really not any particular reason. It's just sort of a thing with me, a personal thing. I just like the idea that, you got a couple good hills. You got sort of the Covered Bridge, obviously the namesake is cool because, you don't see those a whole lot. It's cool to sort of run through one of those. And just like, there's just something about the area. Like I said, everyone is sort of subjective, picking favorite runs just based on maybe a good day you had there or something like that. And I found that a lot of good days that I ran happened to also be on that run. So it's just one that over the years I've just been excited to run.
All right, two more quick questions and we'll get you out of here. First one, it might be a little bit of an obscure memory, but what is the best piece of advice you ever got from a Kutztown athlete, if you can remember?
Well, I can definitely say, and I got a few good pieces of advice from him. I got a lot of good pieces of advice from people, but I can't really pin it down to one person. I think that if I had to go off just a memory alone where I got advice, the first real night that I was here in camp, terrified, because I'm so bad at change, so bad at adapting to new areas, and coming out of a fairly not isolated but fairly rural kind of out there area in high school to come here, obviously all the culture shock that comes with it, all the new things, the new area, the new team. It was really, really refreshing to the first night I was here have you actually, Steve Esposito, who is no longer with us, and Ryan Wright.
He's still doing well though.
Come in, the three of you guys, and I'll never forget this. Like I just remember there wasn't really one particular piece of advice I can remember, but I just remember being there on like the top bunk of our bed, and Steve was like on the bottom bunk, so I was rooming with him. You two guys came in too, and we talked for like an hour about just all kinds of stuff. You know, like the team, like stuff like some of the workouts we were going to be doing, some of the runs in the area, like, and then we sort of moved towards more of like the idea of just like what it takes to sort of be here and just to sort of just be a part of this program, to be successful in this program. And those things, and while I mean the memory's fairly vague because it was just such a you know, whirlwind of emotions and memories and moving around those first few days here. I can say that I just remember just drawing away from that it sort of planted the seed in me of like just feeling comfortable. You know, it still was going to take, you know, a couple weeks for me to get completely adapted, but that was sort of what initially set it off inside me. Like hearing you guys talk so casually about some things that I was so afraid of, you know, of just being on the team in general, and some of the stuff that we'd be doing because it's so different than what I did in high school. And to have that, you know, like that from so many upperclassmen, to feel so comfortable, feel so welcomed, was just such a. It was just like detrimental to how I would eventually really sort of get comfortable here, get into a routine, and that's how I've always said it. You know, you just got to get into a routine in college, and that's the toughest part. You know, starting off, getting into a routine of living and being on a team, of figuring everything out, figuring the area out, figuring out the runs, all that stuff, and that was really sort of the catalyst for that, and that's something that I'll never forget.
It's definitely an honor to hear you say that. I mean, I've seen you these last 4 years, just how much you've grown as a athlete, and even as like a friend and a more personal level. It's been awesome. And last question. Right now, there's a kid who's probably in class right now. He's got to come to Kutztown University next year. Right now, if he's watching this, what advice would you give him about running for Kutztown University?
What advice would I give him? Well, just not even looking at his running talent, assuming that he is a little bit scared and maybe a little bit, you know, apprehensive about coming, like most normal people are coming into college, let alone coming onto a college team. I would probably tell him exactly what I would have wanted to hear coming in, and that's there's nothing to be afraid of, you know, and that's such a it's such a like broad thing to say to somebody, and they probably aren't going to believe you, but I can sit here today and say that I came in. You know, the first like 24 hours of me coming up here, adapting, I was kind of a mess. I mean, not like in a, maybe a mess is a bad word, but I just, you know, I was afraid of what was going to come.
Just acclimating to change,
The unknown is so intense. And if they're coming to run for us, I can tell them in full confidence that as long as you're coming here willing to work, willing to dedicate to this team, willing to be a part of this team, willing to embrace your teammates as your family and your friends, and not just people that you run with. And you know you're committed to learning the area, to being a part of the culture here, to being a part of, you know, the history of this program. I can assure you that you will find success here. Whether it's, you know, you doing things that you never thought you ever could have done before, or just you know shocking other people or whatever. You know, you will find success here. As long as you do those things. It doesn't matter if you are, you know, coming in as a state champion or coming in as, you know, somebody who barely fell through the sheets that had to, you know, maybe seek out a coach to even get considered. And that's why running is such a, you know, great sport in college, because that's the way I've always seen it. You know, as long as you have that work ethic, as long as you want to get to that next step, that next PR, you want to keep climbing that ladder. You can't be stopped. You can't be like. There's nothing that will bring you down as long as you keep doing that. And I think that if you just come in with that kind of mentality to a program like this, or any college program for that matter, you will find success.
Definitely agree, Jake. All right, well, Jake's going to have to head out in about the next 30 minutes or so. I just want to thank you for taking some time out of it. I'll see you out there. We'll maybe talk post-race on, get a quick little interview after your race as well. Sure. Best of luck, bud, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
No problem.